welcome to another podcast for the Daily News with Mike DePilla. I'm Mike McGuire, and today we're talking about those Cubs, because damn it, it's an exciting time to talk Cubs baseball. Now let's go for a general overview of things right now. What do you think of the Carlos Zambrano contract?
I think it's too much to give a guy, a power pitcher, 6 years. The history is not on the Cubs side on this one. You've got too many Darren Dreiferts, Kevin Browns, Jason Schmitz, and God forbid Carlos Pavano.
Oh, jeez.
Carl
Pavano, yeah.
He
didn't even get a year out of his big contract.
And that was only a 3-year deal,
Yep.
and now you're paying 6 years to a guy who's kind of inconsistent, dominant at times, but what if he's an injury risk? You know, he's got a long way to go on this deal.
I think if you're serious about competing, you got to spend on pitching. And I think Zambrano's a good guy to spend it on. He's young, he's durable, he's entering his prime. I think he should be the kind. You know, it's always a gamble if you're giving somebody a multi-year contract and you're hoping his arm's going to hold out while he's throwing 95 miles an hour.
Is he going to be complacent now with this deal? You saw what he did in August. Not so good.
I don't know. I think he's quite insane, and he's a competitor. Part of his.
Well, a lot of ball players are competitors. I'm sure Carl Pavano was a competitor too, and Kevin Brown was a bulldog, but he still sucked when he got his contract.
Well, do you think that's because he was 45 years old, or did he lose his edge?
I think that he got complacent with a big deal, and the injury set in.
They didn't sign a 45-year-old. You got a 26-year-old, 250-pound horse. I think he's the right guy for the gig.
I think it had to be done, regardless of whatever we said. There's no way the Cubs could let him walk after spending the money on Lily and Marquis.
And they got him cheap. And I like to see the Cubs, change their move here and spend some money on pitching as opposed to hitting, which they always seem to throw a boatload of money in the hitters and never go after the pitchers. Now at least they're making a statement to be competitive.
All right. Now speaking about those hitters, how about Alfonso Soriano?
Mm-hmm.
You have him as the leadoff man almost all season. He's coming off the leg injury now. Is this the right spot for him to be hitting?
For my money, I keep him in the leadoff spot. The Cubs played their best ball and came storming back when he started to get hot out of that leadoff spot. Terrio did a good job, but when he was the leadoff man, the Cubs were 8-11. I think there's no better punch than the 1-2 with Soriano and Terrio. And I wouldn't dick with it. It's like Rocky when he wouldn't switch back from righty back to southpaw. It's too late for tricks here, buddy.
No, I don't buy that, Mike. I don't think it's ever too late for improvements. Because Alfonso Soriano is not a leadoff hitter right now. The biggest reason being he can't run. You see him run to first base, it looks like Ramos Ramirez right now running down the line.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
He can't run, he's not going to steal bases, he's not going to be an on-base machine. Why don't you put him back in the lineup, hit him 3-4, let him use that power stroke. He's hitting home runs like no one's business.
Perhaps in 2008, that's a good move. But right now, I think you stick with a horse that got you there, and that's Soriano on the leadoff spot.
Got you where, though? I mean, he got you to a few games over 500.
The Cubs are in first place, and it's cold in the morning in Chicago. That doesn't happen all the damn time.
When the Sox went to the series in 05, they made a huge change down towards the end of the season in their number 3 hole. They took Everett out and they put Jermaine Dye in. And it was late in the season, and that got them to an 11-1 postseason run. So it's never too late to change the batting order.
In my opinion, I think the Cubs are going to be best with Soriano in that leadoff spot. Which brings us to our conclusion. We got 3 weeks here, 2.5 weeks left of the season. You think the Cubs are going to hold or fold? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs, or what do you think here?
Well, by hold you mean slightly over 500 ball. Yeah, I do think they're going to hold. The schedule is without a doubt in their favor.
Absolutely.
They're not facing
You got Cincy twice. The only really tough team on that is the Cardinals this weekend.
And that's not that tough when you're losing 6 or 7 in a row, and the Cardinals have been. You got Dontrell Willis, and the Cubs are 0-3 against the Marlins this year.
The Cubs can't hit lefties either, so that bodes well for Dontrell too.
So maybe that's going to be a challenge, but compared to what the Brewers have to play, I really think that the Cubs have the advantage to hold on.
So you're seeing the Cubs playing in October?
I see them playing in October.
Oh, I just love to hear that. I think we should end on that. That's a beautiful thought. For Mike, I'm Mike saying go Cubs, get her done.